Julien and I have been going out ever since the early 2000s, and one of the biggest things that we both struggled with and taken years and years to learn is social awareness. And social awareness means being aware of how you're making another person feel, and then being willing to calibrate to that other person.
It's authenticity and relatability, okay? And you must find a way to operate in that sweet spot where those two circles, you could say, overlap, where you're being authentic, but it's also connecting with the person or the people you're talking to. Everything you say, everything you do in an interaction is either creating a certain tension or diminishing that tension. Okay, you can think of it as, let's just say, I'm looking dead in the camera. This is putting a certain amount of tension, a certain amount of pressure on the camera, and if I look away, you just kind of sense that tension dissipate. If I start speaking very loudly, right, tension versus, so a little bit more quiet, right? If I get a little closer, further away, tension, less tension. And you must familiarize yourself with this and be aware of what you're saying, what you're doing. Is this creating tension or removing tension? An interaction is really a dance. Okay, if it's too much tension, not good. If it's not enough tension, not good either. It's a back and forth, okay? Tension, less tension. Tension, less tension. That's what keeps it interesting. Learn how to put yourself in the other person's shoes, okay? Learn how to really take up space and ask yourself, okay, what are they thinking? How do they think? What is their value system? What is their currency? What do they care about? Really seeing the world through their eyes, real-time body language, eye contact, and vocal tone responses. And that just builds on it, where it's like in the moment, you better really pick up on all the little subtleties in terms of, okay, how do they feel here based upon their eye contact, right? Not just if they're looking at you or not, but all the little subtleties you can tell just by looking into someone's pupil. Okay, there's a reason they say the eyes, are the windows into someone's soul. So familiarize yourself with that. Getting into your own body, realizing that a lot of social calibration is getting in touch with these more invisible, subtle channels of communication. And if you're just looking at the surface or living in your head, you're not going to pick up on much. Okay, it's a lot of feeling. Always calibrate to the best possible outcome. What happens, sadly, is people calibrate to the worst. They're like, well, what's the worst thing, that could happen? What's the worst way someone would react? And how do I prevent that? No. Assume familiarity. Assume an amazing response. Calibrate to that, and then adjust if needed. Learning how to perhaps apologize if you do come off as a little socially uncalibrated, using statements of empathy, right? Saying, hey, sorry, that joke was a little out there, right? Just a statement of empathy like that, just showing that you get it, right? Again, social interactions, especially when meeting new people, it's like two different people coming together, two different value systems coming together. Of course, it's going to be a little bumpy at first, and you better show that you get it, right? Versus being completely oblivious, like, this is the joke. Don't you find it funny? It's like, if they don't find it funny, be like, I know it wasn't that funny. Okay, that is actually incredibly valuable because it shows that you have that social awareness.
You have to make somebody an offer that they can mathematically respond to. In other words, say that I'm doing a party, and it might be a little bit harder to get women to come to my party than to get men to come to my party, and you're a man, and then you say, hey, bro, I want to come to your party. I'll roll through with the squad, with the homies, right? And I'm like, I don't think you understand. If you come by with 10 guys, and if I say yes to you, then I'm saying yes to all my other friends that want to bring 10 guys. The entire party is going to be all men, and you wouldn't want to come to that party.
Always calibrate to someone's level of investment. Okay, a lot of people ask way too much when the person just simply isn't invested in the interaction in them, right? It's just unfair asks like, hey, I know we just met, but can you do this? Versus, okay, what's the level of investment here? And always asking something that is proportionate to that level of investment so that it makes sense. Be aware of causing any reputational damage. Okay, that's a huge one. Anytime, even though you're like, I'm being authentic, right? If it's causing something where perhaps that person's peer group, their friends are like, it's affecting their reputation, right?
Them.
Yeah, it's like, well, then it's just not gonna fly.
Okay, so let's talk next about what's gonna happen when you don't have these things. We're gonna kind of hammer the pain points a little bit here. What you're gonna see is that some people are trying too hard to be relatable. They care too much. And so if you're too relatable, maybe you're doing things like self-qualifying, which is messing with the buyer-seller dynamic, and it looks like you're selling yourself, makes you come across as lower value. You care too much about relating to other people's standards. That said, if you're too authentic, then maybe you wake up and you say, what's authentic to me? I just want to wear a garbage bag to come out here. Although to be fair, you could actually make that work. But, I want to wear a garbage bag covered in feces to come out here. And I just want to sit there rubbing myself with Cheetos. I mean, again, there's like actually comedic realities where this could I think me and you could make this work. But the point is that for the average person who's not doing it kind of like as a troll for self-entertainment, but they're doing it because they think it's cool, and people can legitimately say they think it looks cool, they're going to drive people away.
Yeah, you can also think of this as like someone who's just only focusing on relatability is the people pleaser, right? It's all about the others, like others focused. Someone who's only focused on authenticity is all me focused, right? I don't care how it affects others, it's all about me. And the key when socializing is finding that sweet spot. How can I be authentic? Never compromise your authenticity, but also make sure that it is relatable and that it does connect. And that should be part of your win as well. If it's not connecting, guess what? That's not an interaction.
There's going to be an array of eye contact changes, changes in the pupil, changes in body language, changes in vocal tone. So if you're talking to somebody and you can tell they have closed off vocal tone, so maybe you say something and they're like, yeah, like they're breaking away from you, they're using closed off vocal tone. They don't want to continue that interaction. Number one thing that you want to do is say, oh, great to meet you. I'll see you later. There's a million other people there who you could go talk to. Or if you truly believe that what you had to say is so hilarious and so interesting that, maybe you just want to like say that one last funny thing. Like what I'll even do is I'll even just start to like walk backwards, and they're like, oh, finally he's going away. But I might just say that one last funny thing, and then, maybe one time in three, they're like, oh my God, you're the best person ever, and like they'll kind of pull me back in. But you want to just be aware of what that other person's experiencing by looking at their body language, vocal tone, everything. Just have that social awareness, and you can put that directly in proportion to how good you're feeling. Like if you're really, really fluid and you're feeling really, really good and you're really, really in momentum and you're really funny and you're really on point, then if somebody's a little bit more closed off, again, you could, begin to leave, but just continue to be funny and converse as you're kind of pulling back. And that can actually release a bit of tension. And then they actually want you to come back and they'll be like, wait, and they'll kind of pull you back. But you just wanted to be generally aware of that. So spend some time studying other people's body language and tonality. The problem is, of course, is that if you're low self-esteem, you might start to see only the negative because your reticular activation system, your selective focus, only sees negative. So you've got to find that balancing act between focusing on the positive and continuing and not being so sensitive to it that you're walking on eggshells, but at the same time, putting yourself in the other person's shoes and, being adaptive to where they're at. Never be stuck on one person being into you. If anything, you've got a whole area of people. If there's somebody here I wanted to talk to and they're not super into it, I'm not like, no, it has to be them. It has to be them. No, I'm just going to keep enjoying myself. Oh, nice to meet you, and go meet other people, and then just sort of continue from there.
One simple way to really start familiarizing yourself with this is just look for tension in the person. So for example, if you're pressing that button like joke, at first they might laugh like, that's funny. And then it turns into this kind of, right? Or they might take a step back. You might see it in their eyes. They start kind of tensing, maybe looking away like, okay, or saying things like, well, gotta go now. Okay, it's a little too much. When that happens, slow down, remove the tension. But if you remove it too much, then it turns into a little too loose, a little too bored. It's like, okay, yeah. Okay. And that's where, okay, let's add some tension. And even beyond that, putting yourself in their shoes also really means understanding who they are, how they think, right? The paradigm that they're in. What is their value system, right? Based upon all that, what is the humor that might connect with them, right? What are the types of topics that might connect with them? But then on the flip side, and this is why, again, we could make literally 50 hours of videos on this, you could do that, be like, well, they might like this humor, but then at the same time, if you come in with your own humor and you really own it and it's congruent and it's fun, they will be open to that, okay? But really learning how to understand the person, this also comes with experience, crucial.
What we've found in both public speaking and making videos like this or meeting people is that the more that you're out of your head and just in the present moment and you're just letting it come out and not getting in your own way, it's a bit like a millipede. And if the millipede is overthinking, it starts tripping over itself. It just has to move. So generally speaking, if you take so much action that it overwhelms the thinking mind, say you're at a party, for example, and you're just meeting a lot of people, and you start having fun, and you get in your body, and you see what feels good, and you kind of go with that, and everybody's doing that. It's similar to a dance at a light level, where you're just having fun, expressing yourself, sharing, and that is something that gets other people out of their own self-judgment, and that leads to a lot of interactions escalating very, very quickly.
Calibrating to the best possible outcome. Okay, this is huge. If you go in calibrating to the worst one, right? One, it communicates a lot of low value, because what does it say? That you're probably getting bad responses to begin with, right? It's the person who goes up and is like very hi there. What does it communicate? Wow, people must really react terribly to this person, versus assuming familiarity, assuming good vibes, assuming that people are open, people are friendly, and going in. Like, how would you talk to someone if you knew they would 100% be open to talking to you. Would you go in like, Be like, oh, hey, you'd still be respectful, right? You'd still be aware, again, social calibration, but you'd go in with a smile, assuming the best possible outcome. Okay, so again, not doing this really diminishes your value.
Yeah, and that's why he says assume the best possible outcome, but then be aware of that body language, vocal tone, what they're saying, and so on and so forth. And then if they're not receptive, then leaving or saying, even just saying things like, oh, you know what, sorry, I'm out of here. I'm going to go home tonight, or whatever it is. Yeah, massive. Like at any given time, if somebody's not enjoying yourself, oh, you know what, sorry, I'm actually out of here. I'm taking off. See you later. Any kind of statement of empathy. A big one that I do is I make little jokes. Like I'll make a joke like, I'm like, well, I think the vaudeville cane is like in those old movie theaters, like, or cinemas. The vaudeville cane just came out. Oh, I'm pulling myself away, and then I'm like, goodbye, like as I go, and often they crack up, and then they call me back. Another funny one that I've done over the years is I'll say, it's amazing because like, in your mental movie, like you have your mental movie of life, I have my mental movie of life, and it's like in your mental movie of life, you get to keep being awesome. You met some weird person, they're gonna get to go away, and you're just gonna keep being awesome. And then in my mental movie of life, I am that weirdo, and I'm gonna keep being that weirdo, and I'm just gonna walk through life, being that little weirdo, just me, my little weirdo mental movie, forever, right? And like, again, it just shows that awareness if you're being a little bit weird. And I've seen it where like people crack up so hard, they're like, I gotta give you my number like immediately, just by making that joke of like the vaudeville cane, or like sometimes I'll even start hitting myself as a joke. Like I'm just like, stupid, and you stupid, and people start cracking up. Again, it's vibe relevant. There's a vibe where that would make sense, and it would actually kind of like ease the tension, and everybody would start laughing, and it's good. And then there's a point where doing these things would actually make you seem even weirder, and they're not going to be good. So that's where learning about social awareness is very helpful.
Yeah, and once more, it communicates so much value just doing this, right? You might think, well, what if I just say, I'm sorry, and kind of take a step back? Isn't that not good? No. It just shows like you're aware. Right? That's really what someone wants. It's like, whoa, they're actually aware of how they are making me feel. Oh, they're aware that there's a little too much tension. Great. Oh, they're aware that there's not enough tension. Great.
Okay, so this idea of doing the math, which I mentioned before, this is a major one that we both deal with as social media influencers, and here's why. So we see the other side of this because from putting yourself out there on social media, you get approached a lot on the street. So people come up to us a lot on the street, and they engage with both of us in a way that if we were to respond to, our entire lives would be over. Hey, Owen, where should I go to go out to New York? Again, if you think about the amount of direct messages that I'm getting or Julien's getting, if I respond to that, then here's the thing. If you like me because I make videos, and if you like Julien because he makes videos, that's how you know us and like us. The mere act of us responding to you to be your personal concierge would mean the very thing that you like about us, which is that we release videos and connect you or do free events all over the world and connect you. We wouldn't have the time to do that anymore because to do it for you, we would have to do that for thousands of other people. They always use the excuse of connection. They're like, no, but we have a connection. Like, we have more of a connection than the other people. And it's like, no, I actually am a loving person. I have a lot of love for you, but I have a lot of love for everybody who I met, and I wish them all the best. And I have a connection with all of them. But you're not being considerate of my reality, right? So, one of my good buddies is Ty Lopez, and Ty will have the Golden State Warriors will come to his house to celebrate their championship victory. He's friends with almost every major entrepreneur. I mean, this guy knows freaking everybody. And here in LA, it's funny, I don't know if Ty knows this, but a lot of people actually complain about Ty because they meet him and then they say, I've been like trying to hang out with Ty, and he doesn't just want to hang out with me and come for lunch with me, right? And I'm thinking can't you just let Ty be Ty? Let the man live. The guy knows everyone. Why don't you just meet him at a time that's convenient to him, or think of something that would offer value to him, and then now you can party with the Golden State Warriors. You can meet every other entrepreneur that you want. I've met so many incredible entrepreneurs through Ty. I've met incredible one-on-one clients through Ty who have paid me incredible sums of money. This guy has added nothing but value to my life. What have I really even done for him, and then just try to be as cool as I can be? So in saying that, imagine that I would be like, how come he won't grab a private one-on-one lunch with me all day because we have a magical connection, right? Yeah. How is that fair? You know what I'm saying, right? So it's funny, so many people in LA are butthurt because they want him to just sit there cuddling with them in bed or something like that, just sitting there while they just complain, or I don't know what it is that they want because they think they have a connection. No, people that are very gregarious and that are networkers that know a lot of people are largely warm and friendly to a lot of different people, and what they try to do is they try to meet a lot of different people and then bring parties together or can be connectors and connect other people. Let them be them. I always have a plan of what I would invite them to, how I could add value to their lives, and this is not pandering. This is a simple way to say, I respect you. I know that you've got 1,000,001 offers. I've got something cool going on. And the main key to it is this. It has to be something that you would be doing anyway, and something that they could leave. So anytime that I invite any of my high-level friends from around Hollywood to something, I invite them something that I would be doing with or without them. So I have things going on that are fun. And then something where they can pop in, check it out, and leave anytime they want.
Calibrate to someone's level of investment. Okay, so realize that when you are talking to people, there is investment happening, right? Whether it's time investment, emotional investment, right? The more time you spend with someone, for example, the more invested they are in you, right? In that connection. And what people do is they just jump the gun way too soon, right? You might talk for 30 seconds. You're like, ooh, they've invested 30 seconds. And you do these asks that just make no sense. Right? It'd be the same as if I'm like, oh, hey, I just met you after 30 seconds. Do you want to come and do this thing with me? And can I have this and this? And you're like, well, no, it doesn't make sense. And it communicates once more, low social intelligence, low value.
So final point here is reputational damage and considering somebody else's reputation. So for example, let's say you want to get a discount and you meet somebody and they're offering you a better deal than they'd offer to other people, or maybe they just like you and you're the kind of person where, frankly, you just expect the best in life, and if somebody's not willing to give you the best right now, you're not having it, and then they think about it and they want to give that to you, you've got to be aware that you're not hurting their reputation by not having discretion or maybe even by judging them. This is really, really massive. Having discretion, non-judgment, these are huge. So let's say right now, I'm the kind of person where unless you're going to really give me your best right now, I'm not having it. And then you're enjoying my company and you're like, maybe I'll just give my best right now, maybe a better deal, whatever it would be. And then I'm like, I can't believe you did that. Like those idiots that give a better deal. They gave me a better deal. If I do anything like that, I'm completely messing it up and no bueno.
I mean, yeah, just think of, again, one classic example. If you travel a lot, you go to a hotel, right? You can actually get amazing deals. If you don't get deals, by the way, here's a good audit in life. If you're not getting many deals, you just don't have this discretion. You don't have the social calibration. You should be able
maybe not even the value.
Right? Yeah, or the value. Again, so many nuances to this, but say you go to a hotel and you get a deal and then you're just flashing out, look at the discount, right? Or you go and you get a piece of clothing, look at the discount, everyone. Again, hurts the reputation. Not good, okay? And you will alienate people. And just lastly here, when it comes to social calibration, as we said, we could talk about this forever, okay? There's so many nuances, and this is why in high vibe communication, there are group Zoom calls where we can examine different situations that you encounter and break down all the little nuances, right? Oh, based upon this situation, what you were feeling, the nuance here, oh, the dynamic there, oh, the situation there. Break it all down so that you really get this, because if you don't, life's really going to start closing all its doors, right? Just think you yourself. Would you ever depend on someone who doesn't have this basic social awareness, right? This is the map to navigate the world. If someone doesn't have it, it's like, ooh, would I ever really trust them or depend on them? No, they're not going to make it very far in life, okay? It's incredibly valuable to have this. So once more, remember these 10 points, go deeper in high vibe communication, and if you don't, it ain't going to be pretty.